Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna give some lessons. Not that I am approved to be giving lessons, but I see people asking a lot of questions about certain things, so I'm going to do a little basics collection for you. Starting with brows. Something I get the most compliments on are my brows. There's times that my makeup is tore the fuck up, but my brows are banging. And they've come a long way, as we have talked about in my previous videos. So now I'm going to give you a step-by-step breakdown on how I achieve my new brows, new and improved brows. So if you're like me, go grab your dirty brush. Today my dirty brush is number 12 ABH. It's an angled brush. For anybody who does not have that specific brush, you could just use any thin angled brush, preferably cleaner than mine. I use it for one thing, okay? Sometimes, it's better when it's dirty. And I'm the only one using it, so keep all my dirtiness to myself. And then I also use Dip Brow Pomade from ABH as well. This one is Ebony. You can't see. For starters, this product goes a long way. You do not want to gather a bunch on your brush or you're going to end up with messy lines and it's going to make you so mad. I like to coat both sides of the brush and then scrape it off the end so that it takes off all that super excess you don't need. Next, I always start at the tail. I don't know about everybody else, but this is how I do it. Starting from the underneath. Oh, actually, go ahead and spoolie all of your hairs in the right direction. If you see any strays coming out, what I like to do is take my scissors and just level them off, almost like a haircut. An eyebrow haircut. You've got them all in the right direction. Start from the underneath and make a very soft swoop line. Don't take it out too far because you still have to connect it with the top and you don't want to end up with it way out here. So just a little doesn't have to be perfect, just sleek, I then like to follow that line all the way through very slowly and very carefully. A trick of mine when trying to make very straight lines like that is to get the end, then get the other end, and then play connect the dots. So you get to the ends that you want. Yeah, just like that. Go slow too. Don't rush yourself because that's when you get jagged lines. And you know what? Sometimes you're gonna get shaky lines anyway when you're first starting your brows because you're still getting a steady hand. So be kind to yourself. Next step. You want to do the same action starting from the outside, bringing it in from each side and connect it. But here, you really want to focus where your arch is. So I arched right where my bone is. Everybody's is going to be higher, lower. It's different for everyone. So you may have a way higher arch than I'm working with right now. Still, just follow the natural lining of your eyebrow and you should be fine. Just literally following it like a Nike sign. I tend to like to start a little bit on this side where it's still straight so I can follow the curve easier. So as you can see, I stopped. I didn't connect the point. I just wanted to make sure that the swoop is how I want it to be, and it is, so now we can move on to that. At this point in time, to make sure this stays really thin at the tail, I tend to pinch my brush just to reiterate that I want it to be super thin. Starting from the bottom, now we're here. Give yourself a way sleeker line than you had before, and then play connect the dots with the one on top. Ta-da! At this point, we're gonna do the same thing to our other brow, but you might wanna grab more product now. In the same manner we did before though, it goes a long way. Now that we're all lined up, we're going to fill. I don't fill with my pomade anymore. I used to. Now I use my duo powder from ABH. I use ABH brows religiously. Before I used NYX brow gel was way more affordable and it works just the same. So there's a dupe for you. When you open the duo powder, it has two different shades. One's darker than the other, and the reason for that is the fade. So we're gonna start with the darker and go in with it on the tail end and the curve. Oh yeah, I changed brushes. Sorry. I'm now using a number 14 angled brush, which is tiny still, but you can tell it's a little thicker, so I can gather powder with it. Ta-da! Now, as you can see, it's really lightly done at the tail because I am going to pomade fill the tail. You don't want it to get messy with powder all over at the tail and keep it sleek, so we'll do that later. Now, still with that same 14 brush, go into the other shade that's lighter and fill the rest to an extent. Watch. I'm gradually taking it in more and more and not grabbing more product as I do to keep it from just looking blocky. At the front end, I turn my brush so that it is this way. You're looking like a flat head but angle, and kind of just brush upward. As you can see, it kind of goes a little lighter at that point. That's good, that's what we want. Then I spoolie the end so that it's not blocky. You can spoolie all through it if you want. Just remember, if you spoolie too much, sometimes you'll remove product and have to go back in, so just do it lightly. I used to do the rubbing action. I don't often do it too much anymore. I feel that it's made my brows tend to get messy up in here, so I just brush them in their natural direction. Let me fill in my other one. So as I said before, we're going to get into our brow pomade again, fix the tails, and I'm going to show you how I give more realistic hairs towards the middle. Go back to your number 12 brush as well. Gather some pomade just like we did before, scraping off excess so you have a really sleek tip. And just fill it in. Now that the tails are done, you're going to pinch the tip of your brush again. Now I just mimic hair strokes right at the front. Same for the other. If your lines start to get thick, pinch it again. Afterwards, you should still spoolie upward to blend your mimicked hairs with the rest of your actual hair. We're almost done. Next thing we're gonna do is carve them in. Usually you carve them in with coverage from a concealer. I am out of concealer, so we are going to use LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation, and I've done this a few times and it's been fine. So I'm gonna save me some money on concealer, and I'm gonna be cutting my brows with foundation, and I am so happy about it. I'm also using a flat brush. This part you want to move really slow and really careful. As you're doing this, be mindful not to go up. You're pulling down so that you don't mess up that whole brow you just did. I still use the connect the dots effect for doing the carving too. La, la. Now I like to wipe my brush just, because I'm OCD with it. Tap it into some more concealer. The top is usually my hardest. So I like to keep the brush flat the whole time following the brow and try your best to keep it out of. May just be in my head, but dabbing it and then pulling it through feels like it's better. I'm kind of just patting any excess out now. And as you can see, inevitably, I went into my brow a little bit as it's not a perfect line anymore. But don't fret, I do this every single day and we will fix it right now. Going back to your number 12 brush that you were using the pomade for, pinch it again, do not add any product, and then just fix your line carefully. Let me cut my other one. Afterwards, I literally just lightly rub that foundation so that it's not weird in the middle, and you're all set up to do whatever you want to do. My brows are really bold. There are so many different brow styles out there. Don't feel like this is the only way to do brows. This is just how I do brows. And I wanted to give you a little bit of help in case you wanted to. Try it. Yeah. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time for our next basics lesson, which will be how do I blend? Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you always know when I have a new video. Bye.